Hi friends, welcome to my tutorial of ChatGPT section. So I will be telling you the basic terminologies which ChatGPT user must understand in order to use it. So just walk through it, go through it, and create your account, whatever. So you can use the ChatGPT via their search interface or from the API. So let's quickly walk through the basic terminologies like what is ChatGPT, what is the long form of ChatGPT. Long form of ChatGPT is Chat Generative Pre-trained Transformer, and it's a artificial intelligent chatbot. It's not a person or something. It's a artificial intelligent chatbot. It uses natural language processing. When we say natural language, that means language which humans speak and understand. Like give me a water, I am going to Mumbai, I am going to New York, something like that. So very simple natural language. It is trained to understand that language and it is trained to respond in that natural language. So that's the reason it can create human-like conversational dialogue. So you will feel that some person is speaking to you, but it's actually a chatbot. It's not a person. So but you need to understand one thumb rule. You need to consider it as a human and not as a chatbot. So why? Because it is trained to understand human language. Okay, even it can accept or understand if you made any spelling mistake in your prompt or whatever you are asking. Don't worry about it. It is very smart to make it understand itself. Okay, so it is created by OpenAI organization and it is funded by Microsoft Corporation. Their search feature is free. Means they do not charge any money to use their search feature, which is chat.openai.com. I will show you everything, don't worry, just stay with me in this complete video. And APIs are not free, needs credit or purchases. That means if you want to integrate this their response chatbot in your code base, in your programming or even organization related any use cases, then you need to hit to APIs, and those APIs are not free. I have explained everything in the upcoming videos also. So charges are based on tokens. So you need to understand what are tokens. So I have explained in forthcoming videos also what are tokens. So this free to use search feature is, the URL is given here. It is https chat.openai.com. So you can go to this URL, create the account and start using it. What ChatGPT can do, these are the possibilities. It is a chatbot. That means it can talk like a human. It can reply to your questions, and he has vast amount of knowledge base up to September 2021. So they have limited knowledge after that, but up to that period it has lots of knowledge. You can ask in any area and it will respond to you. It can do the translations. So translations means it can convert from one language to another. Like it can talk to means if you provide English, it can convert into French and respond back. If this is a text completion also, that means if you could not complete any statement and you have half statement, it will complete that. For example, like you want to say Narendra Modi's father name is and ... and you send that prompt to this chatbot, it will reply with his father's name with like Damodar Das Modi, like something like that. So I am just taking Indian example, Indian politics example, so that you guys can understand. He is a very big celebrity here in India. After that, embeddings. So it can embed the text wherever you want. Like there are some rules and regulations which you need to follow, and it can embed your text in the place wherever you want. It can convert your speech to text also. This is very interesting. So whatever you speak, it will convert into text and give it back to you. So let's say you went to China or Hong Kong, let's understand, and the person in front of you don't know what to, means he don't know English and you don't know Chinese. So in that kind of context, this kind of use case is very, very important actually, And image generation, this is also very interesting. It can generate the images on the fly. He is very smart actually. I will show you the examples in my forthcoming videos. So it can generate the images very smartly. You can do the fine tunings and update the knowledge base of ChatGPT regarding your organization, not regarding whatever ChatGPT is known already. Why? Because you are not allowed to change whatever he knows already, and you can fine tune related to your organization only. Okay, so this is a different topic, so it's a very big use case. You may not come across this use case. So very quickly I will tell you how to open the account. So just go to chat.openai.com, then register for an account with an email address. It should be valid because you will be getting the OTP over there or link over there. You need to create an account on the OpenAI. You haven't created an account, click on sign up. That's it. Next time onward you need to log in. So this is the page, like you see the URL, it's chat.openai.com, and you need to click on sign up. If you don't have account, you need to click on login if you have account. Okay, after that it will redirect you to this page. You need to enter your correct email address, click on continue, or you can create account using Microsoft account or your Google account also. Okay, and then you will get the link on your email address like this. This email you receive, actually this is the part of the email only, wherein you need to click on the verify email address button here, and that means your email is verified. Then it will redirect you, wherein it will ask you first name and last name. Click on continue. After that it will ask you to verify your phone number. Whenever you enter your phone number, please make sure it is the correct phone number and you select the correct country, because it will send the OTP to you. It will send the OTP which you need to put here in the next page. Enter code. If you do not enter the code, it will not let you go inside. After that you need to reset the password first time. This is the first time thing you need to reset the password, or let's say you forgot the password. Whenever, let's say after 2 months you forgot the password, you click on the reset password link and you will land up here, so that you can reset the password which you understand. Let's say you have created the account, you are logged in. After login you will see this kind of interface, wherein at the bottom you can write down the prompt. Whatever you write is a prompt actually. You need to understand these terms. Whatever terms I am going to tell you now, those are very important, and don't forget, because in the ChatGPT world you need to understand few basic terminologies like prompt, tokens, models, and this kind of stuff. I will explain everything. Don't worry about it. Just stay with me. You will understand everything, which is very basic and very, very important for the ChatGPT. After that, so this is done. Whatever you want to write, whatever you want to search, it can come on the screen, or it's like a Google, but it will give you the feeling of a typewriter actually. So I will explain you and show you that demo also in this video only. If there is any issue with the server status, you can go to this URL status.openai.com and check what is the current status. And they are very honest people, I should say, because they will tell you the uptime. They can tell you when, on which date there was an issue on the server. In fact, if you subscribe to updates here on this button, they will in fact send you mail also if there is any downtime. I have subscribed to them, that's why I can proudly and confidently say that they send the mails very honestly, that okay, at this time this was the problem and this was the resolution and whatever. Now everything is a token system in ChatGPT, and if we talk about the API, you will be charged basis on the tokens. So you need to understand that the token thing. So I think this topic can come forward in the next subsequent videos, but here is the example. There is a tokenizer system which is provided by ChatGPT, wherein you can write whatever text you want and see how many tokens it is eating. So I am going to Bombay today. This is what I have written, and it has clearly mentioned that it is going to eat my 8 tokens, and there are 27 characters. At the bottom you see it has shown in the different colors. These are the tokens. You see Bombay is not a one token. BOMB is a one token and AY is a different token. So different color. Even it has considered the space also. You see at the last I have given the space and it has considered the space also here. So I is one token, AM is another token, something like that. So this will come in the picture whenever you start using API, because it's not a free, and you will be charged basis on whatever number of tokens you are using, whatever number of tokens or data you are sending and receiving. So let's stop here and I will meet you in the next video. Thank you very much. Yeah, so in this video I am going to explain you what are the important links over there in this context, in the context of ChatGPT. So there are very important links which you must understand and you can visit also. You see I am hovering and it is showing me the URL, that is help.openai.com, and if you go there you will understand that you will let me open it for you. Let's see, Google Chrome. Okay. So here in the help section you can take help regarding billing, regarding chatbot, ChatGPT, OpenAI APIs, regarding the guides like rate limits, error codes, safety practices, whatever, and general FAQs actually, and the DALL E, which is related to the image generation API. So this is the help page. Let's go back again here. Now it will now the second thing is overview. Okay, overview means it is very big section actually. Let me code. Okay, I am going there. So here these are different menus actually, if you see here on the top, but it is showing you the basic things. Start with the basics, and it is saying okay, chat section is there, text completion, embeddings, speech to text, fine tuning, and image generation. These 6 categories it is showing, and there are some quick start, tutorial link, and example task. So you can walk through. I will be going through each and every section in my next videos. Don't worry, just stay with me. After that, introduction. So let me show you what is there in the introduction. It's a documentation, like it has given every detail about ChatGPT. I know if you don't have time, you cannot go through each and everything, but I think I have given you the shortcuts to understand ChatGPT, and you will come to know. Don't worry about it. After that, this is very important for the developers, wherein developer can understand how much is the usage of the APIs. If you see, this is the real usage of my APIs. I had received $5 credit actually, which generally we people receive whenever we create the account, and it exhausts in the 3 months, and I have exhausted $3.37 until now. So some part is remaining, but this is how it is. And once this is exhausted, I will have to purchase actually. I will have to purchase the further credits. This all works in the credits system. After that, rate limits. This is very important actually. So rate limit these are the models which I am going to explain in the next section. On the left side are the models, and these are the request per minute, and these are the token per minute. Allowed means request per minute allowed, and allowed token per minute. So if we talk about GPT 3.5 turbo model, it will allow only three requests per minute. If you give the 4th request, it will decline and it will not give response on 1 minute. I mean, in the 2nd minute you can again shoot and request and get the response. So in 1 minute you can at the max consume 40,000 tokens, including request and response both. So this is the example I wanted to tell you, and another example is like this ADA. This is another model which allowed 60 requests per minute and 1,50,000 tokens per minute. So it works this way. Okay. So there are other categories also, like moderation, image, audio, and other. So every particular category and every particular model, they have decided some limit to request and to token also. So always understand while using this. After that, let's go here. It will show your membership details. This is my name, this is my email ID. I am owner of this account, that's why it is showing this. I have a personal account, I don't have organizational account. So this section here you can see, and you can utilize this everything and try to understand what all information is given over there, like billing details, payment methods allowed, billing history, whatever billing. Let's say in 1 year you want to see how much amount you have paid and consumed, everything it will show you. it will show you the usage limits, it will show you the preferences, whatever company preferences you have, and pricing methods and everything. So after that, yeah, I have already shown you the billing thing, pricing thing also I have shown. Yeah, so now very important thing, chat GPT playground. This is very important, very important. But understand one thing again, this is not free. This playground is not free, the other place is free. So here, whenever you write something or get some response from server, so it will deduct some credits from me based on the tokens which I am sending and receiving. So that is very important to understand. Don't send spam messages using this playground. But before integrating into the API, you can use this playground to understand and to understand and gauge whatever answer it gives. So stay tuned. I have shown everything in my videos also, actually. Don't worry about it. Then this is very important, and I think everybody uses this, actually, whoever are on ChatGPT. So here I am logging in and I will get this kind of response, okay, and I can write something, who is PM of India, something like that, and it will give me response like the Prime Minister of India is Narendra Modi. Because why he is giving consent? Because he don't have data after September 2021. So this is how it works, and I will give you so many examples going further. Don't worry. So here you can see the API keys. I had created 3 API keys. I can delete, I can edit and change the name. I cannot see the API key again because it's for the security reasons. They show that API key only once. I can create any number of times, but that's important to know that, okay, other API keys I will delete those earlier API keys so that there will be no confusion. So this is I don't have any organization. I have personal account. That's why. Otherwise, here it would have shown the organization name also. Okay, so this is the area wherein you can see your API keys. Now this is very important section where I am going to. This is the tokenizer section. It is given by the OpenAI team only. So in the last video I have shown you how it calculates and what is the logic. So my name is Sam. My YouTube handle is TechySam, like this. Okay, so on the fly it is calculating the tokens. You see here it is saying that I have used 12 tokens here and they contain 46 characters. So it has divided into these different colors also. This is just an example. If I do like this, it will give you the complete information about whatever number of tokens and number of characters used here, actually. Okay, so I can see the token ID also, but it is of no use to me as a non-developer or non-person. I don't have to do anything with that token ID. So but these are very important, and remember, space has one token. Space grabs one token. So send your data very carefully to ChatGPT, otherwise it will bombard with your credit card. So here, terms and policies. Here if you see, there are legal terms and policies, privacy policies, service terms, whatever is there. So you can even create the plugin also, but they have some terms for that also. Usage policies you have. You cannot send sexual content, adult content, whatever, and hate or something. API, data usage policy, publication policy, whatever, and vulnerability. Yeah, so these are policies. Whenever you create the account, they consider that you have accepted that, and you need to follow, otherwise they may block your account. Don't use ChatGPT for any adultery or any hate speech or any malware or any anti-country or anti-world related stuff. Be careful always. So okay, so let's stop here and let's meet in the next video. Thank you very much. Yeah, so welcome back again. Here I am giving you some very important information regarding the API stuff. So initial credit, whenever you create the account, you will get $5 as a credit for using the API integrations and all, and trying the playground and everything. So you can have the account as an organization or as a personal account. I have a personal account basically, and if I create organization account, I can invite or add other people also. So initially, whenever you create the account, your role will be owner of that organization or personal account. You can add or invite other members if you create organization account. So this is the initial stuff, initial credit and information about the ChatGPT. After that, there are some key concepts which I already told you to understand. These are different key concepts, but you must understand what are those concepts. So first concept is prompts. This is very important. Prompts are nothing but instructions which we send to ChatGPT server and the response. Okay, it includes your query. Query means whatever you write and whatever you seek information regarding. So that is the query, you can say. That is the prompt. And it's very important. Writing good prompt is an art for ChatGPT. You need to learn and utilize your brain to get correct results using the correctly written prompts. So it also includes system and assistant messages. Like I will show you one example. I have created one video also on this, where I am sending system messages, assistant messages, and user query. So all those forms a prompt actually. So whenever it calculates it as a token, it will not only calculate token as whatever response it has received, but including everything, whatever request you are sending, how many words, characters you are sending, and response also. So another key concept is tokens. So tokens is nothing but count of text sent and received from ChatGPT server. Okay, so it is request and response both, as I told you. So ChatGPT charges based on tokens. So whatever number of tokens I have shown in the last video regarding the tokenizer. So you must have understood how to use the tokens actually, and how it divides the text into the tokens. Max tokens are depending upon the model. So you can instruct your ChatGPT server that okay, I want only 100 tokens at the max. So you can have any number of token actually. The maximum number is, I think, in some models it's 4096, in some models it is 8192. I have already covered that in my next sections. You will understand in which model how many tokens you can max tokens you can save. So model names are Da Vinci, Curie, Edia, Babbage, etc. There are so many models actually. At present I think there are 64 models. I have created video also on this. So but you don't need to understand everything. Depending upon your use case, you need to use that. For example, DALL E is a model which is used for image generation. If you want to create these images, then only you will need that model. Let's say Whisper, you want to do it, change from text to speech, then you will need Whisper. So this is the example I am giving. Whatever models are there, you cannot use every model. That is depending on what use case you are implementing. So you can check token counts on this link. I have already shown you in the last video, but this is the link which you can open and check yourself. After that, the consideration is, this is the approximation. This is not a real value, but you can consider this is near about truth. So one token is near about 4 characters. Okay. So you can consider 100 tokens is near about to 75 words. So this is again approximate estimate. They have calculated on the average basis actually, and it also depends on the language also. For example, Chinese and Japanese language may have less number of words in one token or whatever. So these are dependent on different criteria and their things. So if you want to calculate the token, get the token count, programming way, you can use tick token if you are using Python library. I have given the link here actually. Its name is tick token. You need to install using the command pip install tick token and start using it. And if you want JavaScript library for that, you can use GPT-3 encoder, which will tell you before even sending to server, it can tell you how many tokens are there in your text, so that you understand and make necessary changes. If you have some budget constraint and you want to save your money, this is very important. So you can integrate into your code before sending, try to see how many tokens are there actually. Okay, so this is very important use case. You can install using npm install GPT-3 encoder. This is the command to install. You can install on Node.js, React.js, AngularJS, any JavaScript functionality wherein you are writing this code and integrating. So models is another key concept which you must know. As I told you, there are so many models. You can go through this URL and you can see what are there are different number of models over there. So the related to models, I want to give some description, like the API is powered by a set of models with different capabilities and price points. So every model charges differently. Every model has less or more capabilities. They have some limitations regarding tokens. They have some different related to the request per minute or whatever. So all at present, at this moment, they have 64 different models actually. GPT-4 is the latest model and it is the most powerful model. It has created on top of GPT 3.5, and GPT 3.5 Turbo is the model that powers ChatGPT, and it is for the conversational formats like the chatbot or whatever question completions and whatever things we do. It's not for the image generation and all. So these are the regarding the models. Actually, you see, these models you need to understand the very important models like GPT-4, then GPT 3.5, DALL E. This is related to image. Whisper is related to text to speech, audio into text. Embeddings in it are related to text into numerical format. Moderation, this is very important. Before sending request to server, you can moderate if there are any sensitive or unsafe keywords which can block your account. So whenever you use these moderation APIs, they will warn you kind of, okay, these are the sexual context or whatever, like that. And GPT-3 was the old model, and Codex is deprecated, the last one. This is the deprecated. Now they have stopped using Codex actually. And these are the API endpoints which are compatible with these different model names actually. So you will, if you are a developer, then only these models are important for you. These endpoints are important for you. And whenever you write code, you will have to embed your endpoints like this. So if you see, this is very important. GPT-4 has max tokens 8192. Okay, GPT-4 0314 has the limit of 8192 tokens actually. GPT-4 32K, this is the latest model, has 32,768 tokens is the limit, and like that. So you need to understand and send the max token parameter as per your understanding and requirement. But remember, number of tokens, whatever number of maximum tokens you are sending, actual data I am saying, you will be charged accordingly. Okay, so it will eat up your credit card usage. So again, Code Da Vinci and all. Okay, so let's stop here. Let's meet in the next video. Thank you very much for being with me. Welcome back, friends. This is Sam again, and I am going to tell you something very interesting. If you are a developer, then only this section is important for you. So this is the Node.js library, which you can use in Node.js means JavaScript library basically. You can use in React.js, AngularJS, Vue.js, whatever JavaScript programming language you are using, and inside the Node.js also. So in order to use this library, you need to install this using this command npm install OpenAI, or if you are using Yarn, you can use the Yarn command also. So once installed, you can use the library and your secret key to run the following. You need the secret key also. You see here line number 3. This is very important. You need to save your secret key into the environment variable and use it over here. So this kind of code you need to write. I have given you code samples. Don't worry. Just follow all my videos. You will get the code also. I am sharing my code also on my github.com account and along with these videos also. Don't worry about it. So this is just an example I wanted you to understand. It's very simple. Just install this and write some code and get the data. That's it. The only thing you need to remember is it's not a free. First of all, you get $5 credit, but afterwards you get paid for that. And one thing, don't share your API key with anybody. Okay, it's kind of bank account. So there are other libraries available also. So I have highlighted in this yellow color C#.NET. This is the list I am telling you. I am not going to pronounce everything, but you need to find out as per your requirement. But one thing to understand here, these libraries are not created by OpenAI company, OpenAI organization. So they are not going to take any kind of warranty or guarantee or working thing. So these are created by the separate organizations or separate people. on their own interest and provided in free or whatever. So consider that always. So these are, you see, Go, Java, Julia, Kotlin, Node.js, PHP, Python, R, Ruby, Rust. So this Scala, Swift, Unity, Unreal Engine. So these libraries are there and people will create in the future also. So stay tuned, look at the libraries and utilize as per your requirement. Thank you very much for staying up to this point. Let's deep dive into the programming in my next few tutorials. Thank you very much. Bye bye. Welcome back, friends. I am Sam again. In this small video, I will explain you what is DALL E Image API. So this API is very smart actually. If you see my screen, like these images are created by the DALL API. So here, if you send a prompt, like the prompt which is shown, an oil painting by Matisse of a humanoid robot playing chess, and it will look like this, you see. So so like this is not a painting which was already stored or saved in the ChatGPT's knowledge base. It has created this image by using his knowledge base like robot and then chess game and etc. So it's very smart actually. If you see whatever you see here, a 3D render of an astronaut walking in a green desert. So again, it has created the image. This is a green desert, it's a robot, it's a, astronaut, and it has created the 3D kind of image for that. So DALL API is very smart, very intelligent. You can ask anything, like there are different possibilities. One of the possibilities I can tell you is to send the prompt along with the image, and it will replace that image, edit that image and give it back to you. It can also generate various number of images based on whatever you are prompting. For example, if you write a man with laptop, like this, okay, man with laptop, or software engineer with laptop. If you write this and say generate, it will create an image. Maybe if you ask for 5 different variations, and you need to also provide the size, so it will create those number of images and with those sizes and give it to you then and there. Right now they are not giving it free. You need to buy the credit of at least 15 USD actually. So you will be getting 115 credits based on which you can generate the images. So this is not a free like other schemes, like the other textual completions and all. You get $5 credit from ChatGPT, from OpenAI company, but this will not give you any credit. You need to purchase it. So you can create as many images as you want, and it will create on the fly, and there will be no consent from anybody. I think you can use these images without any fear of any licensing issues or anything. So this is the beauty of it actually. So you can also submit your generation, means whatever you generated, it is asking for logging. But if you generated any beautiful image out of DALL library, you can submit that generation and they can showcase your image if they find it beautiful, and they can showcase in this kind of same library here actually. So if you click on surprise me, it will give you some prompt in order for you to create the image. Okay, so this is just giving a prompt, say different prompts. You don't know what it is giving. You are just saying surprise me, and it is surprising you with different prompts actually. So here you can also maintain the library of your images actually. Whatever images you create here, it will maintain the library of it, and you can anytime see it and use it as per your requirement. So this is kind of a drive wherein you can put your created images. You can also mark the images as the favorite, and all the favorite images will be displayed in this section, in the favorite section here. So apart from generating, OpenAI is also giving you facility to store the images and marking it as a favorite, and whenever you want to see or use those favorite images, you can quickly come here. It is kind of folder in your system. They are giving you this easy access. Again, they are allowing you to create a collection, you see here. So you can create a collection, whatever name you want to give, you give it, and then you can make it either private or public. If you make it private, nobody other than you can see. If you make it public, it will be public for everybody. All the people, whoever is searching that particular image, can see that image and use that image. So this is what they are doing. So you see, if you have created a private collections, it will display all the private collections and the images and featured favorites. And if you have this is a public, I have just created this test essay but not added any image. Actually, you see 0 generations here. I have not added any image because it's a paid, and I will start generating as per my need and requirement, but you can do it if you want actually. So I have already created video on DALL E library for generating various images. Go and check out. Let me know what you think about it. Thank you very much for staying around. Yeah, so welcome back again. So this is the examples from ChatGPT regarding code. In this example, if you see, there are different type of options. I will explain everything which will be related to the coding and programming. So let's go through one by one. This is a natural language to OpenAI API. So here what user has done is, if you see here, this is the prompt. In this prompt, user has written something in the plain text. This is the natural language. Okay, and also it has given what functions it wants ChatGPT to take and work on. So you see here, OpenAI.completion.create, then he has written something, given some comments and whatever, and said instructed ChatGPT to create an OpenAI completion starting from the prompt once upon an AI, and it should not be having more than 5 tokens, and it should not include the prompt. Okay, so what it does, you see, maximum tokens is automatically, you see, it's a 5. Echo is false. Actually echo is by default false. What echo does is, whatever you write as a token, you send as a prompt, so it will reply back, and whenever it replies back, it will add those number of tokens also. That's why echo must be false always. If you don't want it, don't use that variable and make it false always. Okay, so it has given the response as this, whatever instructions are given in the natural language. So it is very straightforward stuff. Code is also given for that. Okay, so whatever natural language you want to write, this is very small example, but you can write very big example also, very big code base or natural language instructions also. So let's move on to the another example. It's a natural language to Stripe API. Now this one, what happens is same thing. So what will it do? Whatever natural language instructions you will give it to OpenAPI ChatGPT bot, it will create the code out of it for Stripe API. If you see carefully, it has used this, called this stripe.token.create. So you need to execute this Stripe plugin actually in this package, whatever is the language, depending on that, maybe it's a Python or Node.js or whatever, and then it will make sure that it will work for you. Okay, so it's as simple as that. It will convert the natural language into the programming. Let's move on to the another thing. So this is a SQL translate. What it will do is, whatever information you provide, let's say there is a very complex query which you want ChatGPT to write for you, so you need to provide it into the natural language. So whenever you provide the natural language information, let's say here if you see, first of all the structure is given. If you see carefully, employee, its ID, name, department ID, whatever, it's the table information. Department contains ID, name and address. Salary payments contains ID, employee ID and amount and date. These 4 columns. Whatever. So these 3 different tables are there, and what user is asking is to write a query to the list the names of the departments which employed more than 10 employees in the last 3 months. So it will write down this SQL query automatically out of the understanding, calculations and understanding, because of whatever information you have provided. Based on that correct table name, it will write correct joins, it will use and give you the SQL statement. So this is very important for the developers who are confused for the query, what to write and what not to write, if there is any error or something. So they can utilize this use case also. Let's move on to the next stuff. Next stuff is, so this is Python to natural language. Now this is interesting. You are writing the Python code, or let's say you are giving the Node.js code also. Whatever code you give, it will give you the explanation of that code, whatever that code is doing, like what kind of variables it is using, what function it is using, what is for each loop or whatever loop it is going through. Everything it will explain in the very simple natural language which human can understand. Okay, this is the code. For understanding this code, a person must be a developer or coder, or at least some technical information background he must have. But to understand this, a person should not be anybody, right? So let's say this use case you can use wherein you have some code but you don't know what it is doing. So you can copy paste that code and ask ChatGPT to explain you. So it will explain you accordingly. Let's move on to the next category, next example. It is the calculate time complexity. So if you provide any code, whatever language ChatGPT understands, so it will calculate the complexity based on the code which you have written. So if you want to gauge somebody or find out if the person is writing correct code or not, you want to analyze the interview results and you don't want to use any human intervention, you don't want to use any person, you can create a software and candidate can write a code and you can send to ChatGPT through API and understand if that person has written good code or not. Maybe understand whether that code is running or not. That is another use case. It can find out the complexity of the function, like if it is efficient or not. So it's very, very interesting stuff. Whoever wants to get the use case, like there are some interview companies which schedule the interviews. They can give their companies, their customers, their clients end-to-end service, like arranging the interview and understanding this based on what user is writing. So I hope you understand this also. Let's move on to the next part. This is a translate programming languages. So translate programming languages is very, very straightforward. If you want a code base, a piece of code, you have a piece of code in some language, let's say Python, and you want that same code base to be written in the JavaScript. So you need to write a statement like this: translate this function from Python to JavaScript. This user has written Haskell. So if you see, this is a Haskell response chatbot has responded with. So this is the very good use case wherein if you don't understand the code and you want a replacement of the code, then you can provide the code base in particular language and ask ChatGPT to respond with the another language. Let's move on to the another stuff. Let's say this is the explain code example. Very straightforward. By naming convention, you understand what it is doing. Here, if you see, this is a big piece of code. Not very big, but quite big, means maybe 50 lines or something. This code, when I am providing to ChatGPT and asking him this, providing this prompt, what ChatGPT will do, it will explain what that code is doing in couple of lines. You can write down in a detailed way, concise way, whatever. So user has asked in a concise way, that's why it has given the small, explanation. But if you want in a detailed way, it will, go through each line and explain everything about it. So this is the code explainer, which you can very easily create using the ChatGPT. Okay. Now I'm moving on to the bug fixer. This is also very interesting stuff. Wherein, let's say you are writing some code in any language, you are writing some code and you are not able to understand what is the bug. So you can provide this code as it is, and ChatGPT will respond back with the correct code. This is very interesting actually. It will save a lot of time. So you can use this use case. It's very good way actually, and it supports many languages actually. So don't worry about it. Whatever language you are writing the code in, let's say React.js, Node.js, Python, Java, .NET, whatever, you can provide, and you can say give me fixed code or something. It will respond with a working code, and you can try. Actually, it will work. So let's move on to the next stuff. It's a JavaScript helper chatbot. Interesting stuff again. What it does is, you can ask him how to combine arrays, and it will say concat method. This is a JavaScript method actually. If you ask how do you make an alert appear after 10 seconds, so it understands that set timeout method is there in the JavaScript, which calls the functions after the 10 seconds or whatever seconds you will mention. It will apply that function after that particular number of seconds. So this will help you to write any code. Okay. So after that, JavaScript to Python, as the name suggests, it's very clear cut that this sample JavaScript expression to Python I want. That's why I'm giving this code, and it will come return back me this code. This is a Python and this is a JavaScript. Okay. So let's move on to the next stuff. It is I want the system to write the doc string, which is kind of comments, okay, in the Python. So I will ask the chatbot to write down the doc strings of the above function. You see here the prompt, it says elaborate high quality doc string of the above function. So it creates this output actually. Okay. So it is also very important for our developers if they want comments or doc strings. After that, last thing in this category, it's a one line function. So if you provide the code, this one, and you ask to get the same stuff in one line, if you see here, it has changed the code into this syntax, and it will work. If you execute this code, it will work actually. It has converted into some array kind of syntax and use the arrow function, and no need to return because there is only one variable. So I think React.js and Node.js, whatever JavaScript developers are understanding what I'm saying, but you can use this use case also. Means code conversion, you can say one liner function, you can say whatever you want to say. So this is all about the code examples, okay, in the case. So let's move on to the another section after this video. Thank you very much. Yeah, welcome back. So now we will talk about the another example, another category, which is called as classification. So here if you see, there are 5 examples which I will be going to explain you. This classification, so it will be, if you provide the prompt like this prompt is the following is a list of companies and the categories they fall into: Apple, Facebook and FedEx. These 3 companies, these are very famous companies. We know what this does. So I am saying Apple, so, and category colon. So the response which I will be receiving is technology. So Apple is a technology company, right? If you see, nowhere it is mentioned that Apple is a technology company. It is giving it the response based on the knowledge base the system has. And second thing he is already mentioning is Facebook category is social media and FedEx category is delivery. Now if you write same stuff on the playground, I am opening the playground here, and let's say if I say Microsoft, let's try. I don't know what answer it will give. So if I say Microsoft, so it will model predicting stop sequence, something is wrong. Okay, let's see. I have removed the stop sequence. Yeah, so it is by default saying category is a technology. So you see what I did, I was not knowing about that, but the playground, on the playground by default there was a enter as a stop sequence. So might be in the response there might be enter keyword or something, some character, that's why it has stopped. So this all on the right side, everything you can configure, you can make changes here, you can change the temperature maximum. I have already explained about all this stuff previously. If you have not gone through it, please go through it. In that video I have mentioned what all these settings is all about. Okay, so this was the simple example of a classification. So let's move on to the next video. So next category is advanced tweet classifier. That means it's very smart actually. If you write something, it will find out the sentiments or whatever information. But in this example, you have given the I am asking the sentiments actually. What sentiments in the tweet? Let's say somebody is tweeting, I can't stand homework. So AI will understand it is a negative sentiment. You see at the bottom, this is a sample response which is received negative. This sucks, I am bored. So it will say it is also negative. I can't wait for Halloween. So this is a good thing, that's why it will say it is a positive. I can't wait means the user wants to experience that particular Halloween, and my cat is adorable. So that means positive, right? So if you see here, advanced tweet classifier, it will divide into positive and negative sentiments. Okay, so whatever sentiments are there, it will tell you. So it doesn't need any human intervention. If you ask the AI, it will understand the context and tell you what it is. It's as that simple. If I write something, I am opening the playground. If I write something like let's say, let's remove this, I am not in a mood to play today, and let's see, it should come as negative. Yeah, you see it is negative. So this is what this classifier, advanced tweet classifier, will do. So it's very simple. So this is the sample code, as you know, Node.js, Python, curl and JSON. Until today they have given only 4 samples. They mainly focus on Python basically actually, but Node.js samples are also provided by them. Even if you want in any other languages, you can get the information from ChatGPT only, so that it will give you the conversion. I have already explained how code converter works. Actually ChatGPT has code converter, it also works. So let's move on to the another next example. Okay, so the next this example is keywords. So in this example, what user is asking is to extract the keyword from block of text. Means there are so many, let's say there is a paragraph of 1000 characters or 2000 words or whatever, a big paragraph, and you don't have time or you want the keywords, important keywords are used. So it will give you this kind of keywords like 20th century, 21st century, Napoleon, American ceramic artist, and whatever category. Like you can try to send any paragraph, it will give you the keywords out of it. So you can try this also, and you can try if this use case is of any importance to your company or client. Let's move on to the next example. It is a factual answering. I think this is very straightforward, and it will give you the whatever answer depend on the information which ChatGPT have. So user is asking what is the language model. He has not trained here specifically. If you go through it, he has not trained, but he will answer correctly. what is the language model and all. After that, let's move in on to the same thing which I have shown you, advanced tweet classifier. So this is the same, but they have named it as a tweet classifier. The earlier was the advanced tweet classifier. So here if you see, user is saying I loved the new Batman movie, and chatbot is saying it's a positive sentiment. Okay, I am asking the sentiment here. Okay, I could ask the language also. Let's try with that. Let's see if it says English. Yeah, so it's a English and it's a positive. So okay, so you got the sentiment as well as the language which user is writing here. Let's try something else. Okay, let's remove this. Let's see if it gives Hindi or what. Yeah, you see it has given Hindi because I have typed आज मैं खाना नहीं खाऊंगा. This is a Hindi word. Most of you must be knowing about it, whoever is watching my video. So it is saying it's a Hindi and neutral. So neutral means it's not a positive, not a negative, it's a neutral thing, like, okay, no hard feeling or something. So this was the classification examples. So let's move on to the, I will explain the other also other classification also. Okay, other examples. Sorry. Okay, thank you. Welcome back. In this video tutorial, I will be explaining what are the error codes which you can get from the while using the API request and response. So this sometimes this gets confused. People are confused sometimes what is happening in back of API servers. Is it my mistake or server mistake or something wrong code or whatever? So don't worry, friends. Here are, you can see here are like few API errors I'm showing you here actually. If you see the 401 invalid authentication, that means some issue with your API key. Explanation is given here. If you see here, explanation is already given. You can go to this link and you can see what error you are getting, and accordingly you can fix that. And few issues are self-explanatory, no need to worry. For example, if it is saying incorrect API key provided, that clearly explains that your API key, whatever you have provided, is not correct. And if you are sending the request from the API key for some organization, but you are not a part of that organization, maybe you have not received the invite from the owner of that organization. I have shown in the last video also accordingly. So it will give this kind of errors. This error says you have exceeded the rate limit, means you are bombarding ChatGPT with so many requests and getting so many response. So it is blocked actually. And then you exceeded your quota. So your quota, maybe billing or your credit card is exhausted. You may need to provide money to ChatGPT. Okay, pay the money. 429 means the engine is overloaded. You need to wait for some time. There are some issues with ChatGPT API. And 500 means the server had an error while processing the request. So maybe the issues on the server in some configuration settings or something. So you need to wait and try after some time. After that, these are the Python library error types which are clearly given here actually. API error, timeout, rate limit error, API connection error, invalid request error, authentication error, service unavailable error. So these are quite straightforward. Same way I have explained the above things actually, but they are related to the Python libraries actually. Okay, and how you can handle this? Obviously, you have to write the try-catch exceptions, and you can try to handle it. And if you are still getting, there are some contact options over there like support team. You can chat with them, you can send the message to them. There are some help links also I have shown in my previous videos. You can go to help section and request them or inform them. They are very quick, don't worry. They work around the clock and they will give you answer very quickly. So there are some staff people who responds to your request, so you don't need to worry about that actually. Okay, so thank you very much for staying with me. Let's proceed to other videos. Welcome back. In this video, I am going to show you how can you build your app very quickly. Maybe maximum 10 minutes you will have to invest. That's it. I am taking the example of Node.js, JavaScript. Okay. So here are the very simple steps actually. Go to the below repository using this command git clone, and this URL I have given, and you will get the code actually. If you have github.com, you can get the code base, complete working code base. If you don't want the code from there or some problem with GitHub or something, I am adding a zip file here for your reference. You can use that same code you will be getting in the zip file also. You just need to extract it. That's it. After extracting, you need to go to the folder. Go to the folder. This one, OpenAI Quick Start Node. You see here, I have mentioned the command also. After that, there is a env.example file already there, and you need to copy it to env. So you can copy it using command line, or you can copy it manually also, whatever way you want. But we need this file because this file is very important. It will keep your API key over there. After that, you need to copy your secret key, secret API key. If you have not created your secret key, you need to create at this moment, because we need that in order to run this program. If you are not created, watch my videos and see how can you get the secret key, and then you can open .env file, and this variable OpenAI API key, you need to provide the value as whatever secret key you have. Don't share that secret key with anybody, and run the following commands after that. Do it very carefully. It should not take much time actually, maybe 2, 3, 5 minutes, 10 minutes maximum. And then run the following commands. npm install. It will install all the required libraries taken from the package.json file. It will run the package.json and get all the libraries required to execute this code. And then you need to run npm run dev. What it will do is, it will execute this code actually. It will work, don't worry. So now regarding the understanding of this code, very quickly I am trying to explain you how to understand this code, what is happening over there. So you need to go to this folder, OpenAI Quick Start Node /pages/API, and then go to the file generate.js. You will see below code over there. So this code is self-explanatory, but this is the function generate prompt, and then I am using some creating the prompt actually, the animal name, and then returning something, whatever. Okay, and then go to line number 9 of generate.js file, and if you see in this code we are setting the temperature of 0.6, and we are shooting the request to model text DaVinci 003. I have shown here, if you see here. And then it is calling the completions endpoint, create completion. You see I have highlighted also. So you can, what it has done is, while generating the prompt, it has called the generate prompt function, which I was showing you in the last slide. Here, this is the generate prompt function, and it generates the prompt and returns to this prompt variable here, and temperature of 0.6, and you are shooting to the OpenAI API so that you can get the response. So this was all about making your first Node.js or JavaScript application. It was very simple. Comment me or let me know if you face any kind of issues over there. Thank you very much for watching this video. Hi friends, welcome to my tutorial. Here I am going to tell you how React.js is used for writing the ChatGPT API code actually. You connect to ChatGPT actually using their ChatGPT API, and using the React.js code I have written few programs which are there in front of you. Actually these are not the all I can say, but it will give you very good idea what you can achieve actually using these examples actually. I will walk you through each examples, so stay tuned. Don't forget to see all the videos, and I will say you just need to also hands-on also, otherwise it's of no use kind of. Why? Because you will understand what is going on, but unless you hands-on, you will be not that much confident. And these are the sample examples assignments I have created only for the training purpose. So I have just tried to achieve few assignments. I will walk you through each assignment shortly. So let's go and understand what is there in the code. So this is the first assignment. I have highlighted this one, text completion. So these are the sample questions which I have given, just a shortcut, like on click of this, it displays the puts that text into this text box. That's it. Otherwise you can write down your own questions. Rahul Gandhi's father name is, like, you need to give him scope to complete that statement and click on generate text. So it has written Rajiv Gandhi, right? So this is what is the text completion. So you can click on any of the options and you can see. But yeah, so one thing, these APIs, these ChatGPT APIs are not intended to give the similar kind of response every time. So this is very strange thing I am going to tell you. If you click on, let's say you ask father's name of Shri Narendra Modi, he is Indian Prime Minister actually. If you click once, it may say something about Pradhan Mantri Shri Narendra Modi, song for status, he is paid close attention to his governance, whatever. But if I click on generate text again, you see the text is different. So it is not guaranteed that every time you will be receiving the same text again and again. So be informed. You see the name he has changed. His father's name is not Kashiram actually. It's Mulchand, I think. So what we cannot expect the same thing. You see his name is Damodar Das Mulchand Modi. His grandfather is Mulchand and Damodar Das is Narendra Modi's father's name. So okay, so I will walk you through the code actually, what this code is doing. So let's see, text completion. Let me find out. Okay, so this is the code which I have written. So let me explain what I have done. I will take just few minutes actually, not much. So as you understand, I have got this information from React, these plugins and whatever information is important for me. I have got the some questions from constants file which I have created here. Let me show you. Constants, yeah. So here you see here I have if you see some constant questions, default questions I have created so that I can use in the system here, which I was showing you a few minutes back. So these all questions are coming from the constants. Now I have imported this OpenAI because I had installed OpenAI actually, which I have already told you what is the needed. You need to do the npm install OpenAI, and then this is the heading which you are looking at, this one, the top one. Okay, this is the heading. So it is not needed, but I have just provided that to beautify it actually. This is the bootstrap I have used, and then this is the component, text completion component I have written. What I did, let's start from this. Okay, what I did, I am showing the questions. This is the first thing. These questions are coming from there, and then if you see, these are the input text, input type actually, then button. This is the input type text, then this button generate text, and then clear text. On click of this generate text, the blue button, what I am doing is I am calling this generate text button. Let me explain what it is doing. It is calling the function asynchronously, okay, and it is getting the prompt value. Let me explain you step by step what it is doing. It is first of all starting the loading screen. Okay, I am clicking. You see there will be a loading button, loading text over there. You see this one. So it was very quick actually. So after that, it is getting the information from prompt val. So this prompt val, what is that? Is nothing but whatever text is there in the input box, in this box. So it will take that and it will send to the OpenAI.createCompletion method. So this is the model name is text DaVinci 002. You could use some other models also, which I have already explained. There are, it is not that you have to use only one model. There are alternatives, but cost matters actually. DaVinci is little bit costly, but it is more faster and gives more options. So I am sending prompt, and then maximum tokens I wanted is 50. So this maximum tokens parameter, always understand, always remember, these tokens include both whatever you are sending the data and whatever you are getting the data, the combination of both, addition of both. So if you, let's say, sent 30 tokens from your input or query string or post message, then you can get maximum 20 tokens as a response, because you are saying max tokens equal to 50, and the maximum token you can use is 4096, and in some models it is 8192 also, 8192 tokens. And I have already explained what is means of token, how it understands and how it calculates the number of tokens and all. Okay, there are some websites wherein you can check also. What I did after that, this result variable, whenever I get, because this is a await function, it will wait until this API will respond, and then I will see if that API has given this response like result dot data dot choices array, and in the 0th element I will search for text. So I will get this variable into this, and I will set it. Where I will set it? Here. I will set it here, so that you guys can display. You guys can see that, and it is actually output. Okay. So as soon as I received the data from server, I will set the loading icon as false. This is just a logic. Okay. I am not doing any kind of rocket science here, nothing special, but I am just on the click of this button, I am sending the data to this function generate text. It is in fact sending request to this function and then getting the data and generating and putting into the translated text as an output, so that you can see. That's it. So this is the text completion program which I have shown. So the only stuff here which I am not showing here is the API key, which you need to provide. I have kept it in a constant file, and you need to provide over there. This code, if you want, I can provide, but I will not provide my API key. You need to use your own API key, because it's a paid stuff, it's not a free stuff. I need to pay for that. So just replace the key, and you can use this code. I will provide this code for your reference, so that you can reuse this. Okay, thank you very much for staying with me. Let's move on to the another session. Thank you. Welcome back, friends. This is Sam again. I am showing you the React.js code and accessing ChatGPT APIs inside React.js. So this particular lecture is related to the learn and response. Learn and get response, you can see. So what we need to do is, we will tell the system, we will provide the system with two inputs. Number one is what the system is, and the number two is what is the information we want to cater to the various users. So I will explain you everything. You will understand. This is very beautiful you can say creativity which ChatGPT has provided. So I have some examples. Let me run the example so that you can understand what is the power of this learn and response model. So I am copying and I am telling the system that you are a grocery shop owner in Pune, Maharashtra. Your name is TechySam and you are very soft spoken male person or whatever. Soft spoken male. I will tell you how to utilize this data, how the system will utilize this data actually. This is the system information which I have provided. And now I will tell the assistant that since he is a grocery shop owner, you have only 4 items in your shop. That is wheat 40 rupees kg, rice is 50 rupees kg, grains is 100 rupees kg, cereals is 80 rupees kg. If any product is purchased 2 kg or more, we can give 10% discount on each item. Other items we don't have at this moment. That means I am teaching him that we only have wheat, rice, grains and cereals, and will be available in the next week after Monday. Today is Sunday, 30th April 2023. So I have purposely created this kind of paragraph so that you can understand what is going on. Let's start with very basic questions. I will ask him, who are you? Let's see what it answers. Okay, let me copy this first of all and provide it in the assistant here, and I'm asking him, who are you? Let's see what it says. Okay, who are you? So I am your virtual assistant. Okay, so I'm asking the same question again. Let's see. I am your digital assistant. Okay, I'm again clicking. I am Sam's assistant. Now, interestingly, from where he pulled this word Sam? How did he know my name? Actually, I have given him name as TechySam. Right here, you see, your name is TechySam. So he is considering, he's extracted this word only, S-A-M, and consider this is the man and Techy is not a man. So see, this is one of the intelligence he has shown. Now let's go further. I am asking, who are you? Your name and age. Let's see if what he responds. Okay, my name is TechySam. Number one, he is a smart, but he is extra smart. He is saying he is 25 years old. Anywhere have you seen I have given him his age or something? No, I have not provided his age, date of birth, year of birth, anything. But still he is saying he is 25 years old. I don't know like from where he get this kind of information. But this time I have again clicked on generate text and he is saying, I am TechySam. I am 26 years old. I am the owner of grocery shop in Pune, Maharashtra. Okay, this is very simple question. Let's go few steps beyond actually. Now I am asking which products you don't have in your grocery shop. I am not asking which products you have. I am saying which products you don't have. Let's see what it responds with. So I am saying, and he's responding very silly actually. And what happens sometimes, it is not that every time it will respond with sensible answers. Sometimes it responds like these answers also. I am again clicking on generate text. It will say the products which are not available in the grocery shops are fruits, vegetables, meat, fish and poultry. So this is interesting. Why? Because I have told him that we have wheat, we have grains, we have cereals and we have rice. That's it. And he has found out that in the grocery shop, apart from these products, these other products are also exist, and that's why it is saying. Okay, now let's proceed to the other question which user can ask. Now user is asking which other products you don't have in your grocery shop. I think this will be the same kind of answers, but don't have any other products he is saying, because I have mentioned we don't have any other product, other items we don't have. Okay, so let's move on to other questions. Some 3 interesting questions are there. So I am asking, any discount going on in your shop? So if you remember, I have said if any person purchases more than 2 kg any item, so we can give 10% on each item. Let's see if he considers. Yeah, so interestingly, he has provided the rates of all, and if any product is purchased 2 kg or more, we can give 10%. Okay, but understand one thing, I have not mentioned discount word anywhere. Oh, sorry, I have used. Sorry, I'm my bad. So uh, now it has said 2 kg or more, and I will put this question: how much I have to pay if I purchase 1.5 kg of weight? Now weight is 40 rupees kg. As per my understanding, it should say 60 rupees because half kg 20 rupees and 1 kg 40 rupees. Let's see. Okay, so it has calculated, you see, it has calculated 1.5 kg of weight because I have given 1 kg rate and they would have to pay 60 rupees. This is what he is saying. Okay, that means he has done the calculation also. How much I have to pay if I purchase 3 kg of weight with your 10% discount? So now user wants to purchase 3 kg of weight. Weight is 40 rupees kg, that means 120 rupees. But ideally out of 120 rupees, 10% discount, that means 12 rupees should be deducted, and that amounts to 108. Let's see what it does. Yeah, no, so something wrong. So calculation is wrong here, I think, because he is saying 102 rupees. This calculation is wrong. Let me try again. So 3 kg of weight cost 120 rupees after the 10% discount. This is also wrong answer. Yeah, so this is the correct answer. Total amount payable for 3 kg of weight, 3 into 40, he has given the calculation, and after discount 108 rupees. Let me ask him how much rupees. I'm not sure if he is understanding or not. No, it is not understanding. It is saying discount would be 4 rupees. This is again wrong, but let's see. I wanted to show you the context, what it can do, what it cannot do. So this is what it is doing. Let me quickly go through the learning. So this is the learnings code which I want to go through quickly. Actually, if you see, I have imported this thing. This was I have already shown in the last assignment also. So this is the component which I am using, only one component you can see here. Okay, and let's start from this place. Now I am showing the questions. So questions is nothing for this, so it will not display anything. So this is the placeholder, which, and this is the input type text which we have put as his introduction, and then assistant introduction. I have teached something to assistant, like this information I have taught, and then the user query, wherein we are asking whatever questions we have. So as soon as user does this, when it clicks on generate text, it goes to here, calls the async call, then sends again to this one, create completion method of open API. I am using the model text DaVinci 002. I am passing the prompt, whatever user is typing. After that, typing means whatever information I need to send, all three parameters, this system, this assistant, and then user query. Then only he will understand and respond. Okay, so every time you will have to pass all these three fields in order to get the information from OpenAI. And then I am getting this response, and I am setting this response so that, you know, using this use state variable, set generated text, I will show you what it is doing. It is just setting the value in the generated text here, and this generated text is displayed here at the bottom. Here, this is the generated text. So you got the logic, right? I am sending these three information to ChatGPT API, create completion API, and it will respond me this one based on some calculation, because what it does is it analyzes whatever I have given him as a system, then whatever I have given him as assistant, and then what is the user query, accordingly he will respond. Okay, so every time it will analyze everything. So you understand, like, it is not that if I am changing the user query, I will only send the user query to OpenAPI. No, this is wrong. I have to send all three items every time. Okay, so this was the learnings and teaching kind of mechanism see wherever you can use this use case and integrate into your website or mobile application whenever. Thank you very much for being with me. Stay in tune. Welcome friends, this is Sam again. So in this lecture I will show you the sample of ChatGPT with having the possibility of code correction. Let's say you have a code and you are having some kind of bug. You can say this as a bug fixer also, or correct the code whatever. So I have purposely made some mistakes in this small code actually, and I want him to solve my code actually. Okay, so I am trying to send this code wherein I have purposely mistaken the value of var variable. Okay, so you see here in the beginning, and it has made it correct and responded me with the this one. So this was the example. Look, this was the very small example which the ChatGPT is fixing, but generally let's say you have 200 lines of code and you are not understanding what is the problem, so you can paste it here and you can send that text. And why I am not sending, because I will be charged for that much big information, but this is just a use case which I am showing. You can make the use of it. It's very, very important and very good thing. It will fix your issue and it will make it workable actually, don't worry. So if you see here code correction, what I am sending as a prompt is code correction actually. You see, correct this code, this, and then the code whatever I want him to correct. So this instruction is very, very important, whatever you are writing. So all you have to do is use the proper prompt actually, and I am not using any kind of other variables like top underscore p and other variables which will rectify the or make the different give the different answers, but you can play around with it. I am just giving you a helping hand so that you can do it by your own. You don't need to fear with ChatGPT APIs, because generally many students ask me this might be very difficult. It's very, very simple actually. It does not take much time to learn. The only good thing is how you integrate it with your use cases. This is very important. So you need to think about it. But I would say try this APIs. I am giving this code. Try this and let me know if there is any issue. Don't forget to change the API key actually, and accordingly it will work. So thank you very much for staying with me. Let's move to the next video. Welcome friends. This is again a interesting lecture wherein I will show you how to generate images using DALL E OpenAI API using React.js. So in this model, what we do is we send the prompt whatever we want. Let's say we need the images of a man and his wife with 2 kids, whatever you can imagine. Okay, whatever you can imagine, you send this prompt and ask ChatGPT to generate, and it will generate an image and display it here. You see now it has sent the request and this is the response. Okay, a man, woman and 2 kids. Now always understand, always remember, this chat generation image, this image generation technique which will generate the image for you, those faces were masked, those may not be the real people, and they will damage the eyes or something, so that there should nobody claim that their image is used, and it is real time generating these images actually. So if I write here 3 kids, and understand one more thing actually, if I send the same request again, it will generate the another image. It will not repeat the same image actually. So you see here man and his wife and 2 kids. Okay, so it has generated. If I say 3 kids, it will generate 3 kids also. Like it will change the image and generate the man and wife with the 3 kids. You see here like this, and you look at the eyes. So it damages purposely so that no claim. So let me explain how I use this code, what I did. It is giving only one option, one image, but if you want, you can ask for the multiple images also. So Here is the code of image create. You see on my screen. Here what I am doing is I am getting the prompt from here. This is the input type text. I am getting the prompt here, and then on submit I am calling this one generate text, and I am generate image, and on this function, inside this function I am sending request to image generations, this one image generations, and it will send the request to image alpha 001 model. This model is very important. I have already explained you about the models. Prompt whichever I have entered, like this is the prompt, a man and his wife with 3 kids, and size I have mentioned 256 by 256. So always remember, there are currently only 3 image sizes are supported. Number 1 256, both should, everything should be square, so it should be 256 by 256, 512 by 512, or 1024 by 1024. Okay, and I am saying response format as URL, that's why it is responding me with a URL and displaying here in the image source. I can also demand JSON also, so that I can put it and display the image. I can do that also. So here I am calling, I am sending the header. This is very important. From the header you need to send the OpenAI key, and I have stored my API key here in the constants file in the data JSON object, and I am getting from there, and I am sending this request, this post request along with this header. I am sending to image/generations. This is the API which will be responsible to generate the image and respond back to you. So this was about the DALL E API, which is generating the image for you. Okay, I have not provided the n value, n parameter. N is by default 1, but if I provide n value 2, it will respond with the array. I will show you in the next lectures actually. So thank you for being here with me and watching my videos. Comment me whatever you want me to share with me. Thank you very much. Welcome back, friends. This is Sam again. The next video which I am showing you on correcting the spelling mistakes using ChatGPT and React.js. So what I did here, I have given some options. Purposely I have provided this wrong spelling. If you see correctly, Japanese is wrong, English is wrong, burning country name, whatever. Actually I purposely provided the wrong information and sent to ChatGPT, so that not sure why it is it is giving some other context, but yeah, so this time it has given. So as I told you, every time this ChatGPT can give you different answers, so don't rely on it. This is just a demo thing. I have not set the temperature, I have not set the top probability, anything. This is the default behavior which ChatGPT is doing. I am showing you. I am just sending this Japanese word, and then it has correctly replied with the correct spelling. Okay, now I am sending the English and it has responded correctly. So this is what the correction of the spelling mistakes using ChatGPT and React.js. So let me show you. So what it is doing. It is also the same actually. Everything is similar actually. On the generate text, I am sending the prompt, and in the prompt I am mentioning that correct the spelling and grammar of this text. So this has to be in the prompt. This is very important. Whatever you want from the system, you need to mention that you want the system to correct it, and then whatever prompt is there. Prompt means what? This text, whatever is there in the text box, this is the prompt. So send the text, and it will respond with the corrected text. Actually it is still calling TextDaVinci 002, but you can also call Curie or ADA or whatever other Babbage. There are different algorithms, models which you can use, and it will give you response, and display that response here like this. So you will get this code, don't worry, and hope you understand. Everything else is same. I have already provided you other information what I have been doing. So always consider this one. This is very important, whatever you are writing. Okay, I hope you understand what I want to teach you here. Okay, thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for being here with me. Oops. let's move further. Welcome back, friends. This is Sam again. I am explaining you the ChatGPT API samples as I told you. So this small lecture I am going to explain you what code explainer is. That means it will explain whatever code you have written or you want system to explain you. I have given you very simple examples. Why? Because this whatever amount of code I will send, I will get charged for that. But I want you to understand the concept actually. Okay. So what I'm doing is I am sending some code, and this is the prompt. Basically, I'm clicking on generate text, and it will say concept of variables in JavaScript. The code defines two variables a and b with values 10 and 5, and in the code then calculates the value of c as the sum of a and b. Finally, the code returns the value. Okay, returns null actually, but it's okay. So this is one-liner code, what we can say, or four-liner code actually. But in reality, believe me, if you give them a complex code, it will explain you very beautifully actually. This is just an example, but I'm just telling you. Let's say you have given him 100 lines code which you don't know. Like let's say you are a Python programmer, you don't understand Java language, but you have a code from Java you received from the internet, and you want to understand the logic of that. So you can paste it here, send to this API, and it will explain you everything step by step. In fact, you need to mention that okay, I want to understand as a novice user or intern or very junior developer or something. It will explain you in a very simple manner actually. So as you understand, ChatGPT have so many capabilities. If you ask him to explain you as a small kid, he will even explain you as a small kid also actually. Okay, so let's see if it does. I am doing it first time in front of you. Let's see if we get the response. Hold in this code, the value of a is 10, the value of a, yeah. So this is very simpler actually. You see, step by step is writing that variable of a is 10, value of variable is 5, value of variable c is the result of multiplying value of a by b, whatever. This is stopped because I have restricted to 50 tokens. That's why it is restricted. You see here, it will not go beyond 50 tokens in one request, including this input and output both. So always remember, tokens is something which is considering input and output both. So here what I was doing in the code is this is the text box, text area, where I was putting the code to explain, and then this button, obviously this button generate text, and it will again hit. So look at this prompt. I am whatever prompt value I am pulling from this, I am writing to explain this code. Okay, so explain this code, what it will do is whatever prompt, whatever code I am providing, it will explain the code, and it will send the request to create completion and provide it into this translated text. I will set this translated text and display to the user. This is very small code. Again I am saying, generally people do not send this kind of very simple and small codes. The code which generally people try to understand are bigger codes, and try to make use of this API. Let me know if you want any help, and thank you very much for being with me. Okay. Welcome back, friends. I am showing you how to get multiple images using DALL E OpenAI API from the ChatGPT. So what you need to do is, there is an n parameter which you need to tweak so that you wanted desired number of images from the system. So right now I have hard coded to 1, 2, 3. If I say 2, it will provide me 2 images here itself. So let me show you what it did. If let's say I mobile handset in one hand of a blind man. Let's say I am typing something which I am trying to understand if it does. So it should return me 2 images as per my information. Yeah. So he is the blind man, you see, and he is showing the mobile handset. So what it does is, generally actually it on the fly creates the image whatever prompt you are sending, and I said I need 2 images of 256 by 256, Why? Because as I told you, images size should always be in the three sizes, square sizes, 256, 512 or 1024. So I clicked on generate, it has responded with 2 images. I can get 3 images also if you want. Let's see, but this time it will respond with different blind minds, I think. Let's see. Yeah, you see, this is the different people actually, So the code is very straightforward. Image variations, the code is very straightforward, and the only difference I think is, I have provided this number of images. This is, number of images is nothing but n parameter, like, you know that. So all rest everything is same actually, which I shown in the last lecture. And number of images I am demanding 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. If I ask 10 images, I can get 10 images also. So this is quite straightforward. An image, you understand, I am providing this code, just change the API key and start using this. And better, this is just a simple thing, but I would like you to incorporate these use cases and leverage in your project or for your client. Thank you very much. Be in touch. Let me know if I can help you on any other thing. Thank you. Bye bye. Welcome back, friends. This is the next lecture wherein I will tell you how React.js uses ChatGPT to get the text translated. Okay, so I have already explained few chapters, few lectures to you, and this is the forthcoming chapter. Here I have quickly created 3 language drop downs actually. This was very quick, and I have provided few options wherein you click here and it will go onto the text box so that you can send to the server and get some response. You see. So what I did here, it has clearly and very nicely given me the Hindi translation of this English text. So I have selected source language as English. I have selected destination language as Hindi. That means I want this bot to translate my prompt, whatever prompt I am sending here, write a tagline for an ice cream shop, to Hindi language. So it has very beautifully done this. Let's try something else also. And it is not a foolproof system, in fact, actually, and it all depends on what model you are using, what is the value of top_p, that is top probability, and also what is the value of your that one variable. The variable name is, I am not able to recollect actually. So and so sometimes it gives, you see, it has given the correct answer here. Yeah, so I was talking about the temperature parameter. There are 2 parameters which are very, very important, temperature and top_p. And always remember, don't confuse like any other developers. Temperature and top_p, when they are 0, they will give you correct results. Otherwise, if they are, as soon as you start increasing them, it can go up to 1 actually, from 0, 0.1, 0.2 up to 1 actually, okay, in the 10 steps. And if you increase the value of top_p, it will give you the different results which may not match actually, okay. So it can try it, it takes more risk actually, okay. So don't get confused if the value is bigger and it will give you the correct answer actually. It is the vice versa in fact. So this is the Hindi to English translation, or English to Hindi translation actually, okay. So it is not very very smart, but not because kahan paida hui thi, this English text kahan paida hui thi means it is considering Rajiv Gandhi as a female female person, that's what. Yeah, so when I wrote where did male Rajiv Gandhi born, So he is saying Rajiv Gandhi kahan paida hua tha. So this is interesting actually. Okay, so let me walk you through this translation code actually very quickly. So translation is here, and if you see the same kind of stuff I am importing, and let's start from the bottom, from the return function. So this is the HTML which I am saying the select drop down, wherein I am asking him to select which language you want. Then I am asking user to select the destination language, and then this is the placeholder actually, sorry, and the prompt which I want ChatGPT to understand what I want from him, and the button, the blue button, this blue button, generate text. When I click on that, it will go to generate text. This function asynchronously it will call to OpenAI.create completion, and it will get the response in this variable. Okay, so this is the format actually. Don't worry about the code, I will provide this code to you, and then it will put the text, translated text, into the use state. Using the use state, it will send the here at the bottom, yeah, generated text like this. Okay, so this is the smaller code which I have written in the React.js actually. So I will provide this code also. You can write this code in Node.js, you can write in PHP, Java, anywhere, any language. Okay, so this is what was related to the translation. Thank you for being with me. Hello and welcome. In this lecture, I will be going to explain you what is fine tuning and why and how it can be done, how we can delete the fine tuning, how we can update it, how we can modify it, how we can create it. So let's first of all understand what is fine tuning. Fine tuning means teaching the robot, very simple term, teaching the robot or giving the information to robot about your domain. Look, you cannot teach the chatbot for whatever answer it is giving to world, but what you can do, you can, for your own product or your own domain or own company, you can fine tune the data. You can upload your own data. You can explain the chatbot to respond in whatever way you want actually. So there are some rules to do that, and it is the response which he will be giving or getting will be only for your own domain, not for all the domains. Okay, you need to understand this first of all. Now, when you do the fine tuning, the advantages are it will create high quality results than prompt design. So whatever the prompt will be similar, but you will be getting the higher quality results. So there will be ability to train on more examples than can fit in a prompt. So there are so many advantages by doing good fine tunings. Token savings are also possible because you are explaining the chatbot to get the smaller tokens. So this is also very important. And whatever you are teaching, obviously it will be returned to your customers who are searching for your information. After that, lower latency request, that means it will be very fast to return actually. So how to do the following fine tuning actually? Prepare and upload the training data. First of all, you need to prepare. It is a JSON-L parameter which I am going to explain you in a bit, and train a new fine-tuned model actually. So there are 4 different models which can be fine-tuned, not all actually. So after that, use your fine-tuned models. So first model is Da Vinci, second model is Curie, third model is Babbage, and fourth model is Ada. So these 4 models can be fine-tuned. If you see, what I am saying is your data must be JSON-L document. JSON-L, this is the format. I will explain what is that. I am showing you the sample also. So each line is a prompt and completion pair. I am showing here what is the prompt and what is the completion. It is a JSON object having different elements over there. So prompt and completion pairs must be there in the JSON-L document. And however, if you don't want to create the JSON data, you can use CSV file also to create the JSON-L data. There are some tools which runs on the command line, so which can create prompt and completion format, which it expects. So see here, you can pass CSV, TSV, JSON, XLS or something to create the JSON-L file. So it will input will be something, but output will be JSON only. So this is the interesting stuff. So if it is too difficult for you to write a JSON, you can write a CSV. It's very simple, right? Two fields, only two fields, and you can convert it to the JSON document. Okay, so to convert, okay, so this is the example of how to create the fine-tune model. Here you can create the fine-tune model for, and you understand there are two parameters you can see here. Actually there are two parameters, one is model and one is prompt. So this model can be one of these four: ADA, Babbage, Curie or Da Vinci. And your prompt means whatever prompt you are writing. So this prompt will contain your JSON document. Okay, so that is very important to understand. So you can also upload the file using Files API, or you can upload already uploaded file can be used. Actually it will create a fine-tune job. As soon as you shoot and request to fine-tuning create method, it will create a fine-tune job, and it will streams until when the job is done. Otherwise, why because your file can be maximum 1 GB, so it can take sometimes more time, and if the queue is bigger it will take more time. So you can take the follow-up also. And if let's say your system is interrupted for some reason, you can resume it by using this command, fine-tunes.follow, and then by passing in your job ID you can resume your task. So in addition of creating the fine-tuning jobs, there are few other methods also, like you can list down all the fine-tune files. You can get any particular fine-tune job ID, and you can also cancel the fine-tuning also. So there are three things which I am showing here on my PPT. So you can see it is a list command. There is a list command which will list down all the fine-tuning jobs. Get command will get, and cancel will be cancelling. Okay. You can also delete the fine-tune model. Now the difference between cancel and delete will be: cancel can be done while the job is on queue or while in the progress, and delete can be done after maybe let's say 1 month, 2 months, 5 months, whatever. You feel that okay, this information is wrong, or I want to provide the updated stuff. At that time you can do the delete stuff. So this is the curl option to execute the delete statement. So you can call this API and provide the model name and authorization bear along with the prompt. Sorry, not the prompt, the API key, your API key. Okay, so let's stop here. We will see you in the next video. Thank you very much. Welcome back. We'll talk about one of the important settings in the ChatGPT whenever you call any request and get the response. So one of the very important stuff is this temperature setting, which you can see on my screen right now. So what happens here? Actually, I am going to explain you. Okay, so this is the very important setting which is a parameter that controls the randomness and creativity of the text. So very important stuff which people get confused. Actually it ranges between 0 and 1. This is important stuff you need to understand. And second thing is, if it is 0, it will give you similar kind of results. Okay, so whenever you send the same prompt, you can expect the same result from the system. This is not a very correct statement 100%, but you can consider it 90-95%. So let's say you increase the temperature, so it will try to find out the variations. It will try to do some different things and try to give another results also. It will not be unique then. So that means, and it will step out by 0.01. So 0, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 up to 1. So if it is 1, it will do so many experiments and return you variations in the results. So if it is 0, it will be stable. It will be 1. If it will be 1, it will not be very stable, and not you cannot predict that it will give the similar results. This is important to understand. Okay, so this is what I told you, that it will give you more diverse and unexpected text if the temperature setting is high. Okay, lower temperature setting result in a narrower distribution, leading to text that is more predictable and follows a pattern. So you can tweak this parameter. It plays very important role. In fact, the two parameters which plays very important role is one is temperature and another is top underscore p, which is nothing but a top probability. So I am going to discuss this after this section. So the default temperature setting is 1.0. okay, so which is random and coherence. It takes care of the randomness actually. That's why. Now let's talk about top underscore p setting. So this is also, so one thing. Now here, remember what I'm saying right now. So don't play with both the parameters at the same time. This is very important. What people understand, if I make top underscore p vary and I vary temperature setting, it will give you very unique results, or I will get something very different and whatever. But don't consider that actually. It is not that way. You need to tweak any one parameter at one given point of time. Okay, so it is also controls the cumulative probability distribution. And okay, so same thing. If top p value is more, you can expect more diverse text actually and give unexpected results. And similarly, same as the temperature setting, it gives you the, if it is a lower value, you can predict and it can give you similar kind of result almost. Okay, so look at the fourth point. What I am saying, the top p parameter is useful for avoiding highly repetitive answers. So if you don't want the repetitive answers, you can use this parameter very effectively. This is what I want to say. Let's move on to the next topic actually. This is logit underscore bias setting. So logit bias setting is in computers that helps them write better messages. Okay, it works by telling the computer which words or ideas are more important or less important. So you need to understand whatever prompt you are sending, you can tell the system, okay, so give more weightage to these terms, these terminologies, these words, and give less weightage to some of the terminologies. So let's say they are giving the examples here. I have given the examples. If I want to write a computer to write stories about animals, we can tell it to use more positive words like cute and friendly for animals and less positive words like scary and dangerous. Okay, so what we are doing here is we are changing the variable. We are giving the number so that system can understand. I will tell you how to do that. Okay, so in the fifth point, if you see, what I am mentioning is what kind of words are and ideas are important to us. We need to handle that and we need to mention that upfront. So how we can change the setting? So this is the example. Let's say there is the Indian food. I am talking about some Indian food wherein I want the vegetarian stuff. I want to highlight the vegetarian stuff. What I will do, I have given paneer as 1.0, dal as 0.8, that means greater than 0, okay, positive value. Chana masala 0.5, butter chicken minus 1.0, that means it's a negative, but it's why? Because it's a non-veg. Tandoori chicken minus 0.8, keema minus 0.5. So this is the example that I will provide this kind of value to server so that it can play it accordingly. And if you see here, this is the way we can call model.generate, and this is the prompt whatever user is writing, and then logit bias value is whatever I have set here on the top like this. Okay, so I have also explained the same thing which I was telling you right now, that I have given more weightage to paneer, dal and chana masala and less weightage to butter chicken, tandoori chicken. So whenever it will give you result, it will considers this logit bias parameter, and whatever in the answer, he will use more, he will give more weightage to paneer, chana masala, whatever the vegetarian things, and give response accordingly. Okay, so let's move on to the other settings. There are so many other settings, but you cannot play around with everything, but I will quickly walk you through with some things. Okay, so max length, obviously it's very straightforward. It can, if you want only 100 characters, you can explain that way, that okay, don't, because this is directly affecting your money. That's why you need to handle this very well. And truncation means whatever input prompt you don't want actually, you can cut off it, or exceed the certain length. If there are very long prompts, you can truncate it to, let's say 100 characters. Let's say your prompt is 200 words, you want it to be 50 words, you can use this truncation example. So repetition penalty means you can also set if your systems should be repeated or not, how much it should repeat. Those are all things you can. I'm not going through very detail in that, but I'm just giving you idea so that you feel that okay, I'm hearing this and you will remember, and whenever you want to use it, you can use it. Num return sequences, that means this is the same number of return sequences while generating a text for the single prompt actually, multiple responses to a single prompt. So if you increase it, number of sequences you increase, it can give you different responses, multiple responses for the single prompt only. Whatever prompt you are sending, you can give multiple options kind of. Okay, so this is the parameter when seed, it is the setting name is seed. It controls the randomness of the model. Okay, so it is possible to generate consistent output from the model, which can be useful for testing or debugging. Okay, so next is frequency penalty. So how frequently your text should be displayed or used, or if it should use infrequent words, means every word should be unique or multiple times, you can handle that over here. N-gram size, so it is nothing but a sequence of n words actually. Larger n-grams can improve the coherence and consistency. So if you increase the n-gram size, it will be, again, consistency will be improved in that actually. Okay, so this is beam search actually, and here if you see, more coherent and natural sounding text will be responded. So what do you mean by a natural sound? Means when two people talk, they talk in a very natural language, like there is no very artificial kind of or scientific kind of stuff. It is very natural. So beam search is a setting which is used to respond with a sequence of words, whatever prompt you are sending accordingly, and it will generate more coherent and natural sounding text. Early stopping, this there is a stop parameter which you can use to stop the response actually. If you feel that okay, particular word is encountered or any particular character is encountered or whatever, or any sequence is encountered, you want system to stop, you can do it actually. Okay, so diversity means the different this one. So if you provide the diversity setting actually, it is possible to generate that is more or less similar to the training data, which can be used in a variety of applications. Okay, so whatever system, whenever any system is taught, it is given one information is given in a different way with different parameters, like what is the log bias or temperature setting. That's why, so they have multiple options for one prompt actually, and by playing around with these settings, we can get the different results from there. So let's stop it here, and let's move on to the next chapter in a bit. Thank you very much for staying around. Welcome back again. So I will be talking about safety-based practices while using the ChatGPT API actually. It's very important. I will quickly go through it. The contents are so much, but I will walk you through very quickly. So the first suggestion is to use the free moderation API. Moderation API, what it does is it will check whether the content which you are trying to send is correct or not. If there is any sexual material, adult material, or any wrong data in it actually. So it should not be having hate speech or something like that, malware related stuff and all that stuff. So this moderation API will reply you and tell you what is the score of your content. After that, safety based practice is to put the human in the loop actually. Don't always depend on the machine. Sometimes you need to check whether the data whichever is generating is correct or not actually. So that is very important to put human in the loop so that human can review the process. Now the prompt engineering, that means the tone and the topic, it should be very nicely mentioned so that system can understand. and it can reply properly. So prompt engineering is one of the very beautiful thing which you can do. Depending on the prompt only you will be getting the responses, right? Because it considers and understands the tone and the question which you are asking. So that depends on that only. So prompt engineering, you need to take care of it very particularly. Now, know your customer. So it should not happen that you are writing or you are creating the API, chat API, and providing to, it's an open API, means there is no login, no logout, nothing. So this should not happen. Why? Because you should know your customer, you should have their details, who is that, what is his name or email ID or something. Otherwise it will be very, you will be in a dangerous situation, because anyways the request will be going from your server only, right? So you should know your customer, what is the email ID and name, everything. Okay, so this is very important. You must constrain your user to provide the input and limit the output tokens. You cannot allow them to provide any number of inputs, very big input in a text area, and get any very biggest output, because nowadays you have seen, I have shown you that there are 37,000 token is the max token in one of the model. So it will break your bone actually. So don't do that. Always limit the user with some restrictions so that he can properly use your system. After that, let's say there is some issue in your software, in that chat API. There should be a place wherein your user should be able to report the issues. Otherwise it is not a good thing, where he will tell you, like there should be some ticketing system, or there should be a support email which should be monitored. Okay, otherwise it will be very dangerous and difficult for you to track if there is any issue. And that the next safety practices is understand and communicate limitations. So always understand what is the limitation of your software or API, and not only understand, you inform them that okay, there can be a downtime, it can reply maliciously, it can be taught badly, whatever you want to say, but it is not a human. That's why you need to inform. And whenever you are creating the chatbot, never tell that this is a human, because it's not correct to make a fool to your customers. So always inform this is a chatbot or whatever you want to inform, but be honest with your customers. And always track the end user IDs also for your information, so that you can detect the abuse effectively and monitor also. Always you can respond with the user ID in the response also, in the JSON response actually. So it is the best way which nowadays people does. Thank you very much for staying with me. Have a good day.